fantasizing what might happen and when. I want to do cool experiments, testing my thinking again and again.
I want to write up all my data, recording pictures, charts, or words. I want to think through all I've done, drawing conclusions about what I have learned. Wondering, asking, testing, concluding. This is what scientists do. If you want to think like a scientist, then you must do them too. A very good morning to the honorable guests, members of the management, the reverend teachers, and the ambassadors of the Alpha generation, the dynamic, the vibrant student community who have come to represent schools of great repute.
I, Amrita Tiwari, and my friend Shaurya Vats deem it a great honor to welcome you all to the event, a fun day with science, on behalf of Science Outreach India and the entire Gurukul family. Science, the locus of all development, the crux of all growth, and the epicenter of all progress is at the heart of today's enriching session.
We all have gathered here to witness the amazing world of science and the abundance that is inherent in all its implications.
Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore once said, "In my house with thine own hands, light the lamp of thy love. Thy transmuting lamp entrancing, wondrous are its rays. Change my darkness to thy light, O Lord, change my darkness to thy light, and my evil into good. Touch me but once and I'll change, and my clay into thy gold."
I therefore request all our worthy guests to kindly come forward and light the auspicious lamp of knowledge and mark the beginning of today's enriching session.
उतारना पड़ेगा, उतार लीजिए प्लीज, साइड में से
It's a treasured custom at Gurukul that we felicitate our worthy guests and our loved ones with a token of warmth and gratitude. So may I invite our respected Director Sir to kindly come forward and felicitate our very own Vikram Dutt Sir, our guiding light with a sapling as a gesture of our earnest regard and affection.
I noticed that.
Sir is an expert in the field of disability, special education consultant, former civil servant and documentary filmmaker. He has authored over 250 publications and is presently working as a president of Mano Vikas Charitable Society, besides serving on the advisory board of Home of Hope Incorporation, a USA-based charity that supports projects in India.
We also have amongst us our source of inspiration, Major General Pramod Sehgal, ex-head of Army Air Defence College. May I request Ma'am Principal to felicitate Sir with a token of gratitude and affection. Sir has trained officers in nanotechnology, IT, electrical warfare, radars and computers. Besides training thousands of officers of Indian and foreign armies at Army War College post-retirement, Sir has counseled approximately 8.3 lakh students of schools, colleges and universities. He is heading 2 NGOs in the field of education and disaster management. His efforts have received wide acclaims and appreciation from several luminaries, including Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam and Dr. Manmohan Singh. Sir, it is indeed a pleasure to have you among us.
Friends, we have amongst us a galaxy of eminent scholars and scientists. May we now invite Director Academics to kindly come forward and felicitate Ms. Darshana with a memento and a sapling. Acknowledged as a student prodigy, a Medhavi Chhatra by her teachers, Ms. Darshana ventured on a journey towards excellence in science after securing herself a fellowship by Nehru Trust for Cambridge University. Presently pursuing a PhD at Cavendish Laboratory, Cambridge University, on establishing the use of quantum principles with the next level of miniaturization of electronics. An opaque topic, as our parents fondly say. Ms. Darshana has also won the National Women Excellence Award in 2012. May we have a huge round of applause, please?
We also have the privileged company of Ma'am Darshana's proud parents, Mr. Harish Chandra and Mrs. Janki Chandra, also with us. It's indeed a joy to see their glowing faces, wondering at the achievements their young daughter has achieved at such an early age.
Oh wow! How hopeful every child looks with the thought of bringing such joy to their parents. May we now call Mr. Anuj for a formal welcome. I request Ma'am Anjali, our mentor, to kindly come forward and felicitate Mr. Anuj with a memento and a sapling.
Sir is a senior production manager in the prestigious Indo Solar Limited. His passion for exploring science reveals itself in the initiative and interest he takes in popularizing it. Few will be aware though that this prolific activist in the field of science is a rigorous footballer too. We welcome you to our school, sir.
Now we request Mr. Abhishek Jain to kindly come forward for a formal welcome by Ma'am Sandhya, a co-mentor. Sir is a Junior Research Associate at Council on Energy, Environment and Water and a recipient of Chevening Scholarship from Foreign and Commonwealth Office of the United Kingdom apart from rural electrification.
He has completed multiple research and short-term project stints with various organizations in India, Germany and the UK, and has written research papers on forecasting of electrification access scenarios in India.
Currently researching on renewable and decentralized energy, Sir Abhishek has conducted various field researches and assessments of hydroelectric power plants in Himachal Pradesh and rural electrification in Rajasthan.
We are privileged to have you among us, sir.
Now may we invite Ma'am Anjali to kindly come forward and extend a formal welcome to Ms. Shivani.
With the presence of all such inspiring people, we are sure to be showered with brilliant ideas that will open up completely new doors of science for us.
Before we commence our rendezvous with the wondrous world of science, we find it an honor while sharing that the pioneering science exhibit Adjustable Road Divider made by Sanket Mittal and Abneesh Singh of our school under the skillful guidance of teacher in charge Mr. Arun Bartwal has secured its place in the international round of IRIS after being placed in the top 3 in the transport category in the CBSE National Science Exhibition.
We find great happiness in inviting the group for a brief description of their iconoclastic exhibit for all of us.
Good morning everyone present here. My name is Avnish Singh.
Good morning everyone, I am Sanket Mittal.
And we are here to present our model, Adjustable Road Divider.
A solution to traffic congestion. As you all know, we face a lot of frustration, tension and stress when we are stuck in a traffic jam. And also, a lot of fuel gets wasted due to traffic idling. According to a survey conducted by NDTV India, around 60,000 crore rupees worth of fuel is just wasted per year due to traffic idling.
Moreover, there are many situations when the emergency services like the ambulance, the police, the fire brigade and many other services get stuck in the traffic jam and are not able to reach their venue on time. Therefore, we came up with the idea of the adjustable road divider. We came up with the idea that why not just to add an extra lane to the congested side so as to smoothen the traffic flow. So, before moving on to the working and the mechanism, the first and foremost point that I would like to share with all of you is that it is generally seen that during traffic congestion, during the peak hours or the office hours, the side of the road which goes to the office area is heavily congested, whereas the other side of the road is not so congested. So if we could add an extra lane to the congested side, the traffic flow on that side can be smoother.
To move the dividers, first we would stop the traffic on both sides of the road by the use of traffic lights. When the traffic has been stopped, on the less congested side there is no traffic. After that, we would move the center divider down and the side divider up. After this all has been done, then the traffic flow can be restarted so that the congested side has an extra lane to go, and so the congestion can cope up and there would be no congestion.
Now, if we talk about the principle behind our model is the conversion of rotational motion into linear motion. So as we can see that here in the mechanism we have used a motor. So, if we talk about the mechanism, we can see that we have used a motor. We have used a motor on which a rack has been mounted. When the motor rotates, the rack rotates with it. And when the rack rotates, the pinion moves up and down on the shaft on the rack according to the rotation. So in this way, we can control the movement of the dividers by controlling the rotation of the motor. So this is a basic principle. Now if we talk about the practical domain, that how are we going to implement it on the practical scale. So first of all, small tunnels have to be dug so that this mechanism can be put under the ground and the mechanism will be operated by the traffic police or can be automated by using the sensors. I would also like to tell you that before applying this idea to the practical domain, we would need to construct some road standards. That is, we would need to conduct some surveys on about the certain parameters like the duration of traffic congestion, the cause of traffic congestion, the length of traffic congestion, the timings of the traffic congestions, so that we can get a general idea about the length of the dividers to be shifted. Because it's obviously not practical to move the whole divider at once. Therefore, we need to construct some road standards to get an idea about the length of the divider to be shifted.
Now talking about the future aspects of the model. As you all know that when vehicles move, there is a friction energy acting on the tires, due to which the tires get heated up, and also the exhaust of the vehicles has some temperature energy in it. We would use that heat energy by the use of thermoionic generators. Those generators would convert that heat energy into electrical energy. Also, this model will be made automatic by the use of sensors with fixed parameters that would shift the dividers accordingly.
Now, So as we can see, there are many future aspects about this model. Now, a main question that has been arising in all our minds is that what would be the structure of the road dividers? Would it be like the simple road dividers like we see, the concrete ones, or something else? So, now let's talk about the structure. When we talk about the road dividers, the first thing that comes in our mind is the simple boulders kept on the road, which divides the road. But it's not so. Many of us think the road dividers are just something like the roads or the just concrete laid down on the road to divide the lanes, but it's not that. Every road divider that has been put on the road has gone through a major procedure by passing the road standards. Basically, there are some standards made for the dividers also, about the structure, the material, the curves of the divider. So we need to think about those factors also. Now, if we construct the divider of concrete, let's see what will be its consequences. Concrete is very heavy. Therefore, it would consume a lot of power. Therefore, so we cannot use concrete because we need to lower the power consumption. The next point that comes in our mind about the lightweight is the metal dividers. When we think of metal dividers, we always think that they are very light, they can reduce the impact on accidents and so on. But we don't notice that there is a thermal expansion of the metal dividers. So if we talk about them as going down and coming up, during summers they will expand, and during winters they would compress. So it will pose a major problem in the mechanism of the divider. Therefore, the metal dividers cannot be used. Now the next point. So there are basically 2 points that we need to think upon. That is the strength and the lightweight. Now the next option with us is the carbon fiber. And many of us think that the carbon fiber is the ultimate source for the strength and we can use it anywhere that we like. But we don't know that the carbon fiber is very brittle and generally does not break, but if somehow it breaks on the road, it can shatter like the glass on the road, which is a major problem. It could cause major accidents on the road. Therefore, carbon fiber cannot be used. So the option that we came up is the Tegris, Tegris. It is basically a carbon fiber substitute manufactured by a USA based company. So now see what is it? Tegris is a polypropylene mixture along with the carbon fiber. It includes 79% polypropylene and 21% carbon fiber, which give it its extra strength and the flexibility. We cannot say that Tegris is absolutely flexible, because if we use the flexible material here, it can bend. Therefore, it has to be brittle. But if the material is, there has to be a limit on the brittleness also, because if it is very brittle, then it may shatter. Therefore, Tegris is a substance which is a combination of both. It's brittle along with the flexibility. So it does not shatter, it does not break on the impact. Its tolerance to the impact is much more. It's about 18% more than the carbon fiber. Moreover, its cost is about 1/10 of the carbon fiber. Therefore, we are going to use the Tegris fiber to make the road dividers. Now, I would also like to make a point very clear in your mind that Tegris and all the carbon fiber, the glass fibers are just like a fiber. The fiber that I am wearing is a cotton fiber. It's not something with which a stuff can be made out of. Therefore, we need to think something about the internal structure of the road divider. Now, if we want to make the internal structure, we want to make the internal structure strong. So, and it has to be lightweight also. Therefore, the structure that we came out with was the honeycomb structure. And in the honeycomb structure, we are going to use the flex core honeycomb structure. Because in that honeycomb structure, the weight is also light, as well as it will provide the strength to the divider. So, if we now talk about the whole structure at once, internal structure would be of flex core honeycomb structure, which will be coated by a Tegris fiber. And now if we talk about the shape of the road dividers will be of the F-shaped barriers. They are basically F-shaped barriers available in the industries. The reason that we are using F-shaped barrier is that on impact, when a vehicle hits the F-shaped barriers, the vehicles are deflected parallel to the lane, or the vehicles are deflected in the direction of the traffic. So the traffic flow is not damaged because of the accident. Because if it is if the vehicle overturns on the impact or something like that, it can stop the whole traffic. Therefore, we are using the F-shaped barriers. I would also like to tell you that between two dividers, as you can see, many of you might think that the dividers can move like zigzag in between. So what about the countries like the India? Many of us may take our bikes and go on like zigzag. So for that, what we can do is that we are going to put some beams between the dividers and a roof on the road. So when the divider moves down, the beams would be completely, engraved on the road, and the road would be completely flat. So in this way, our model works. Thank you. If anyone has any query, please give me answer. Any queries? Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. I hope it was well worth a watch.
And the ingenuity behind the thought has set the mood right for the workshop.
So, without any delay, I would like to hand you over to Ms. Darshana to lead us to the marvels of science.